No, that's better. We are back. All right, now we're back. I had to restart the stream. This is our view from a camera number 3, I hope. Let's go over here. And we should see yeah. So there's our, I've got a couple of cameras set up so we can have a look at the view outside. It's a little bit blurry. This is camera 2, I think, starting up. Now that's me there. Then I've got camera 1 over here as well, which, yeah, that's working now as well. That's cool. And then we've got this one here off the main computer, and then finally I've got another outside view. Oh, it's a little bit on the small side, so what we'll do is we'll increase that a bit. And there's another camera view for outside weather. So it's a nice day here in Sydney. It's looking nice and relaxed. Try and focus that one if I can. I can't. I was jumping around the web earlier today as well, and yeah, saw a couple of things which were of interest. Okay, so that's now going to be over here. So I want to reduce the size of this. Why is that not showing anymore? Interesting. So yeah, I was over at this site, DJ City, having a look at a piece of gear that I saw on another YouTube channel, and someone was talking about this Rodecaster Pro 2 integrated audio production studio. It is a pricey bit of kit, but it actually replaces all of the gear that that I'm using. So rather than have a separate mixing desk, a couple of controllers, like it's all MIDI controllers, separate audio interfaces, pardon me, special effects, yeah, different equipment. It's all compressed into the one unit, so it'll do a mixing, audio interface, microphone inputs, equipment input, like instrument inputs. It'll do all these things in one small footprint, as opposed to having maybe 3 or 4 separate devices in place. So it is pricey, but it seems to remove the need for 3 or 4 items and just replace it with one. But then, I don't know, like the layout I've got, I don't mind it. So it's a bit pricey. I'm not going to go near it, I don't think, at this point. I'll wait a little while. The other thing is, I've been having really great fun doing some photography around the city, and I've decided to go into photography a bit harder. So I went out and dropped off the girls to different concerts over the last 2 weeks. Imogen and Poppy went to see different concerts, and rather than drive it into the city, come home, then drive back out again, I thought I'd stay in the city, take my camera and do a bit of photography work. And so I used to have the idea that I would have a camera, take a photo, do all of the hard work in camera, and then upload the photo from the camera directly up to things like Instagram or here on YouTube. But now, since doing a bit of reading around Ansel Adams, the black and white photographer from America back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, up to the 70s, 80s, he did a lot of film post-processing, which is the equivalent of us using Photoshop or Lightroom, or I'm using GIMP. GIMP I find is really good. It's free. I can use GIMP to create and edit photos, like create images and edit existing photos. So being free, running on Windows, Mac and Ubuntu or Linux, it means that there's a lot of support out there for it as well, and it seems to do the same thing that Photoshop and Lightroom and others do. So I'll stick with that for a little while, and if that improves my photographs, then yeah, I'll keep using that. I wanted to set up a quick session today to do a quick live stream to test a couple of things. I've got a 5G wireless modem router which does something in the order of hundreds of megabits per second up and down on the internet, so I can get a nice good quality broadcast happening. The other thing I want to test out is a Zhiyun Weebill S gimbal, which has got this wireless attachment to broadcast from the video camera wirelessly to a iPhone to use as a monitor. What I'm hoping I can do is hook up the monitor into OBS here and then broadcast wirelessly the video from the video cameras through the iPhone into OBS, and therefore I can somewhat walk around a bit with a camera outside and yeah, broadcast the video that way wirelessly. So I'll test that out as well. What else is there? There was one other thing that I was going to investigate. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so just to I guess show you what I'm on about with the cameras. So I've got that HP webcam which shows us outside there, and then I've got these I don't think that one, okay, so that one, yeah, and then I've got these cameras set up here. So I've got a camcorder on port 1, which is really close to my face, and then I've got camera 2 situated a little bit further with all of the information on the screen to the right there for a different view, and then I've got a third camera going out the window. Eventually it should show us. Takes a little while to wake up the cameras. This is taking quite a while actually. Let me refresh this one here again. So that's the view we're getting out there. For some reason this is not waking up. Oh, there we go. So now that's the webcam. This is the third camera I've got looking at a higher view outside as well, but it does go out of focus. Let's just see if we can get it focused better. It's looking through a fly screen, so that's probably why it's not so great in terms of the focus. I'm trying to manually focus it, but it's set on autofocus for some reason. But that view is actually 14 bit, so it's got really good color. It's a little bit on the low side for resolution, but the color representation would have been good except for the fly screen showing all the Moira. what can you do? What can you do? So we've always got this view here though. Yep. I'm just hoping that the audio and the video match up. It may not do that. We will see. But it's exciting to have so many different options, you know. So we can get different views happening to make it a little bit less boring. The what other news is there? So I've got this cable here too, which I discovered today. It's a HDMI cable that plugs into the USB with a lightning port. So that's the thing I'm hoping to use to get a wireless camera that I can walk around with and then show different video to. So I'll try and get that going tonight or today. And I've also got plans to do some more music. So the latest song I uploaded, Take Me Home, it's the recording of the guitar is pretty good. The wording for the song is not exactly what I had planned because I recorded the guitar in the wrong way. So I've got to re-record the guitar so I can redo the words. And I'll also fix up the mix of that because I had the guitar and the audio on the one channel and it's kind of competing with each other. So I want to redo that song so we can get drums on one track, guitar on another track, vocals on another track, bass on another track. So I need 4 tracks, which I can put together from another audio input device, which I've aggregated to the audio device that I'm using as the Yamaha mixing desk that you're listening to me on now. It's a little bit technical, but it's doable, and I'm looking forward to putting that together. So I'll try and get that done this weekend as well, so we can get the version 2 of Take Me Home properly uploaded. That's about it. So I can't see anyone else joining me right now, so I'm going to jump off. Yeah, these are ad hoc kind of live streams that I'll be doing a little bit more from time to time with a similar setup. It took me a while to get this completely set up correctly because the webcam needed to be on its own USB port along with the video capture card to take in the three cameras in addition to the other built-in laptop camera that we're viewing me on now. So there's a USB camera, the laptop camera, then these 3 cameras. So I've got 5 camera views. Oh, this is great. And then I can get that, if I can get that wireless one going, I'll use this camcorder that you can see the outline of right here. So I can try doing live stream outside, because what I want to do out here, there's I'm not sure you can see it, but outside to the bottom right of that screen there's a kind of a paved area which I've set up, and there's a fire pit there. So what I want to try and do is get the fire pit going, and then I can have a fireside live stream. So we can mix the outside and the inside up a bit. That would be exciting. Almost into springtime. We've got some trees which are starting to get leaves. I'm not sure we can see that view. Let's have a look. So yeah, it's still out of focus. Damn it. See how I was trying to capture focus there? And it's stuck on the fly screen, which is a shame. So there's trees out there. So the trees here, see my big fat finger? The trees here are starting to blossom. So it's a mulberry tree. So I'll get mulberries coming out there pretty soon. On the other side of that tree there's a peachicot too. So the peachicot tree is a pain in the neck. That normally gets infected with these little wriggly worms, little fly larvae, the fruit fly. So this year, after the bees have finished pollinating the plant, which, oh man, I've got to show you this photo. That's what I wanted to show you. There is this awesome photo I took of a bee close up with a macro lens. I'll just get this up. I actually was doing a bit of editing on that photo with GIMP. This could tax the machine a fair bit. Let's see how we go. Come on. Yeah. I think rather than buy my toys, I'm going to have to upgrade my laptop and get one of those new M1 MacBook Pros. They look really good and powerful, so that'll make video editing, live broadcasting, all that stuff a lot more reliable, a lot more fun. It's taking too long. God. All I'm asking it to do is load up Finder. And it's struggling. Oh, here we go. Could be it. Yep, there we go. We've got this one here. I'll show you what I'm doing. Why can't I show you that? Is that going to show? Let's have a look. That. Oh, it's only showing the window there. Okay. All right. Let me show a different view. So if we look at that, get rid of that. Add display capture. That's what I want. Display capture. Whoa. No, we don't want that. We want that one. Yay. Okay, so you should be able to see this now. Okay, so over here, it wants to refresh the screen. Dang. Yeah, see how slow it is? I should have prepared this earlier. We'll see how we go. Alright, I'm getting there. Uh-oh. I think I've lost my external hard drive. Which would be a very big shame. Let's have a look. Well, let's plug it in. Might be why it's so slow. Oh, I really want to show you this. It's taking too long. It's taking too long. Alright, so let's that's taking way too long. Let's quit it. I'll show you another time. Yeah, because it's lost the external hard drive too. Dang. Well, let me try one more thing here. Let's see if we can get this one back. I don't like giving up without having a bit of a try. So the hard drive is, I don't know how to time there. Let me try one more thing. There's powered and unpowered ports on this USB hub that I've got. So I'll try it into a powered hub, or a powered port rather, and see if that resurrects it. It may not. Looks like it's not. Bugger. Alright. Another time, I'll show you the bee. It's a bee. Oh, we've got someone there. Hey JJ. I was just going through the a couple of things that I'd like to investigate further, which involves spending money, which I don't really want to do anymore. I'll show you what I was starting with again. It may be a little bit boring for you, but we'll see. So over here, I was talking about getting this this Rodecaster Pro 2 integrated audio production studio. It does it does quite a few things at once. So I was thinking it'd be great to have this kind of a system. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a lot of money. $1,000 on something which you know, it may not be that that wise to buy something so expensive when I've got pretty much everything that I want in operation right now. Like it's working, it's working quite well. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably give that a miss, but it is a unit which basically integrates a mixing desk, an audio input-output device, and a podcasting music production kind of a studio piece of equipment. So you'd have 3 pieces of equipment in one, which would bring down the amount of stuff on your desk. But in all honesty, I've got a small Portacapture Tascam kind of a recorder, but it has 8 inputs, and that is an audio input-output device as well, which lets me have, if I aggregate that with the mixing desk I've got and another audio device, I get 10 inputs and 6 outputs, which is like 10 individual channels going in, and then 6 individual channels going out to put audio through speakers or into different processing units. So for making music, that's plenty for me. I normally have a 2 in, 2 out, so left and right, and then like a separate channel 1 and 2, and then left, right, master, out for stereo music production, which is typically enough, but it's a bit of a rigmarole to get things set up. So with this setup that I've got now, with the mixing desk, the Portacapture, and another I/O device, that gives me those 10 input channels. So I have a separate bass, voice, guitar, drums, and then 6 others left over for other things if I wanted to. It's just a nice way of bringing everything together in one unit. Anyway, so that's one of the things. The other thing I was demonstrating here was the setup I've got currently with different cameras all over the place. So there's one view outside the back that I've got now, and I've managed to hook up 3 different cameras here as well to a HDMI device with 3 inputs. So we've got that outside view looking into the sky, which is a little bit out of focus. We've got a view of me here from another angle, and then we've got this view over here as well from another angle, and then see over here. So it gives us a bit more flexibility is all that happens. And then back to the laptop camera there as well. So JJ, yeah, that unit would help a little bit, but the main thing that I'm wanting to put more effort into now is actually the content itself, in terms of the story. Like technically, I think I've got things now where I can work with it to make it technically interesting. So all the different cameras, I've got a pretty good audio setup. I was saying earlier that there's a wireless device which I've got for a gimbal that I can hook up this cable to, potentially, to an iPhone to then use one of the cameras I've got portably and then broadcast wirelessly around, probably for 20-30 meters around where I can get reception for the transceiver device on the gimbal. So that would allow me to walk around my backyard, do things like that. Or if I wanted to take the laptop, portable 5G internet camera, gimbal, potentially could go out and do something wherever there's 5G mobile reception. But I don't know, the battery on the laptop would soon deplete, so there'd be probably something in the order of an hour, maybe 2 hours tops, where you could bring up and then potentially not have great audio because I wouldn't be able to take the mixing desk. It'd be audio off the MacBook. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to try out, but I don't think it'd be a long-term great solution. Just be very interesting technically to see if it could work or not. So yeah, but anyway, I'd like to do a wireless thing because I've got a fire pit outside. I was telling the guys there earlier. So there's just out this way. There's a fire pit down on the. I can't really show you, but to the bottom right of that screen, there's a fire pit, and so I could do a fireside kind of a, technically interesting, potentially boring session, but it'd be interesting to see if it works or not. So that's what I want to concentrate on next, is actually getting the story of the content really nailed. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to understand how to structure a story, what makes it interesting, and then build up the channel that way. So it's taken a long time to get to the point where I am now, where the audio is pretty good, the video is pretty good. Now the actual content, I should have started this the other way around. I should have done the story first and then worked on the content. Sorry, the story first, worked on the content, and then looked at the technical aspects of audio and video, but I did it the other way around. I'm a little bit weird that way. I like to be able to make sure that things are, I don't know, technically good first, and then story will come later. Because I think we're all pretty good at telling stories as humans. We know what a good story is. We know generally how to tell a good story. You don't give everything up in the first couple of seconds. You kind of build it up a bit. So yeah, I'll make it interesting that way, I hope. Yeah, I think it would be really extra creative with the extra cameras. So I'm tempted to get a higher resolution camera setup, like 4K, but in all honesty, I think it would just do me in, because I've got a really old laptop. The Mac that I'm using is a second-hand one from my daughter back, I think she bought it in 2009 or something, so it's really old. It still works fine for 1080p video, because the file size is pretty small, the processing is not that intense, so I can run DaVinci Resolve 18 and it'll run near real time in editing, so that's pretty good. It does Ableton Live audio music production quite well, and the other thing I use it for is OBS, which is what I'm using now to broadcast this as a live stream. So that's all I need it to do. And so if I go 4K, it just immediately makes so much more pressure on the machine to actually keep up with the amount of data it has to push through to get the 4K resolution out there. So yeah, I'll stick with 1080p for quite a while yet, because the story is the thing that is going to be the thing that keeps people engaged and wanting to see more content. It's not, 4K, 6K, 8K and astounding audio. Astounding audio is really important, but the video is good enough 1080p, especially for YouTube. YouTube compresses that down anyway, so it's not much of an advantage to go to 4K. And the savings, keeping it 1080p is huge. I think I can get this camera here replaced at $750, and then the other cameras would be about the same. In fact, the EOS M would be $150 probably now. EOS M3 would be around about $400 maybe. So there's a lot of savings there. I think the live stream has frozen, so I think that might be a good time to leave. And I can't see any more questions there either. But thanks, JJ. Good to hear from you. I'll send up some more content soon. I was saying one other thing, which is Take Me Home version 2, the music video that I'm producing. I hope to get that done this weekend and then upload that on Sunday, tomorrow night, to the version. And it's more the guitar and the audio and the drums are all sharing the one channel, and it's not really how I want it to sound, so I want to re-record it to do a better take on the guitar, making it one channel, drums on another, vocal on another, and potentially bass and lead on another 2. So that's 5 channels I need. I've only got 2 if I use this setup, but if I add the Porta Capture, like I said, that'll give me more channels and I can make it sound a bit better. Yeah, the visual is important for lots of people. It is, but there was a really interesting YouTube video where I think it was Chris Howe interviewed Jesse Driftwood, and I can't remember the lady's name, but there was another YouTuber, to see if they could tell the difference between 1080p and 4K on YouTube videos that were displayed on an iPhone initially, then a Retina display, and then on a 5K monitor. And in all honesty, they were struggling to tell the difference between 1080p and 4K on all those devices, especially the iPhone. And most people watch YouTube videos on the smaller form factor iPhone and iPad type devices. So at that level, where the screen size is so small, it's really difficult to tell the difference between 1080p and 4K. And that video really demonstrated to me that I don't need to go 4K just yet. I've got a few more years where I can stay on 1080p. So the audio definitely is more important at the moment than the 1080p. If it was 720, yeah, there's no way that I'd do 720, but 1080p I think is still more than adequate. It's only when you want to try and punch in when you see that 1080p is not good enough. The 4K is good when you want to zoom in a bit further in and keep the resolution. But if you're not doing that, which I don't do a lot of, then it's not really a big issue. So again, it points back to the story of the content being the real driver. And that's where I've got to put a lot more effort in, so I'll do some more there. But you're right, yeah, the visual is definitely important. That's where cinema started. Like, it all came from the silent movies, and that's where people really got excited by visually seeing a story unfold. Then they added sound, and it just went through the roof. So yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to call it quits there. I need to get a few things done, and it's been fun just to catch up a little bit and show technically what we can do. I'm really keen to show off the wireless video broadcast though. That would be really interesting. So that'll let me get around the backyard a bit more and show things in a bit more real-time, real-world type environment settings. If I can get a mobile broadcast thing happening, I'll give that a go as well. But it just depends on how successful that broadcast resolution is and how choppy it gets. So JJ's saying high quality content helps you rise above the average quality video. The story is great and brings people in, but quality is even better. Yeah, I think it's the combination of the two. Get really good quality visual and audio, and then the production of that video, and then the story is equally, if not more important. Like, you know how you see movies that are out there, they're looking great, but the story just sucks so bad that you just don't want to be there. And it doesn't matter how visually exciting the scene is looking, or the movie's looking. If the story is crap, it's like, oh, I'm bored, get me out of here. The story is really, really important. And then if you get that, like you're saying, if you get the story really good and the technical aspects really good, then yeah, that's the winning formula for sure. I did read recently that one of the things that I've got to concentrate on is getting the context right for the scene that I'm setting up, the context. And then the other one is to get emotionally attached. So to try and reach people emotionally with the context set up for setting up that emotional connection, and when you can master that, you have that that continuity through a movie, scene by scene by scene. It becomes a really good movie or an experience that you share. So I want to start out with some short stories to try and get that context and connection, and then all the technical aspects all working together. Plus DaVinci Resolve, far out. I had a look at how nodes work in DaVinci Resolve, and man, there's so much you can do to make, especially sci-fi. Like, I really like sci-fi, and the special effects that you can do with DaVinci Resolve in terms of visual effects, wow, and built into the system are just incredible. So I want to put a bit of effort in that as well. So we'll see. Awesome. All right. All right, that's the third time I'm saying goodbye. So I'll say goodbye this time. Thanks, JJ. Thanks, everyone else. I'll be back in touch, and yeah, see if we can show that wireless video. That'll be interesting. Oh, and I'll see if I can get the B photo for you. The photos, I want to do more photos on the channel as well to show people what can be done with a really cheap, nasty old camera. So my EOS M3 is what I use. It's a 24 megapixel, 2012, I think it came out, and it is slow by today's standards, but the photography that I do, it lends itself more to being not rushed and just taking your time anyway. So I'm not after a high-speed, fast camera. So I can help people make use of the equipment they've got right here, right now. It doesn't have to be the latest, greatest. So yeah, I'll see what I can do. Thanks, JJ. Thanks, everyone. Talk soon. Take care. Bye now. It's not letting me in. Oh, there it is. Okay, bye.